Shalom, peace and blessings. This is Gabrielle with Herbally Defined or Mother's Herbal Instincts, depending on what platform that you are viewing from. And I'm here early this morning, trying to do as many videos as I possibly can before the day gets away from me. So this video, if you can see the title, is on pregnancy snacks. I think I put how to curb hunger with pregnancy. And so I wanted to make this video because a lot of women notice that they're like aggressively hungry when they become pregnant. There's a good reason for that, okay? And one of the main reasons that you become aggressively hungry is because you either start off your pregnancy malnourished or malnutritioned, or you started off fine, but throughout your pregnancy, you started eating foods that weren't bringing in the right amount of essentials that's needed for you to function properly. Hunger only comes into play when your body is lacking foods that fuel it with energy. If you notice, when you eat, the more you're energized, the less that you're prone to try to go in the kitchen and find something to eat. Okay, so one of the main reasons is because you're malnourished. You don't have enough food, energy stored up in your body to allow you to actually just focus on doing the daily things that you normally do, or just sleep, because sometimes some of us wake up out of our sleep because we're hungry. I know for me, with my second son, that happened a lot. And I did notice that my health, my nutrition, as far as what I was getting in my body, was not as good, and it wasn't to the same optimum level as my firstborn son. So I didn't have hunger pains with the first child. I didn't have these bouts all of a sudden where, oh, I need to eat right now, or I'm going to throw up, or I'm going to pass out. I need food. I didn't go through any of that with my first son because my body was physically prepared to give off the vital nutrients for the baby to develop. It was already prepared in that manner. Most of the time after you have your first child and you go into your second child, or you go into your third child, or you go into your fourth child, you're going into it at a state where your body hasn't even completely been restored, renewed, and replenished. And so you're going to deal with hunger a lot more aggressively than you did with your first child or first children, if you was a mom of multiples. So that are the reasons why you feel that aggressive hunger. And I've gone through it. It just like hits you and you're like, oh, I need to find something to eat. And so I wanted to give you all the best choices to help curb that hunger pain with a snack until you're able to actually get to some food that you can eat. I'm not going to say grab a bag of chips and eat them, although I've grabbed a bag of chips because that was the closest thing to me to hurry up and start snacking on until I can get to my food that I really want to eat. But that's just not the wisest thing to do. And I did that fairly early on with some of my pregnancies where I didn't prepare for the hunger. And now I'm just going to give you two different lists on what you can eat that will stop that hunger pain, or that feeling where it's like, okay, you're starting to feel really nauseous because you don't have any food in your system, or the food you just ate burned up quickly. So these are a couple of tips that I want to give you guys. So I put on there, I think in the link that I was sharing, that this is for frugivores and this is for omnivores. A frugivore is somebody who pretty much their diet is based off of vegetation and fruits. So the herbs of the land and the plants of the land and fruits, which is, your apples, your oranges, your bananas, your zucchinis, anything that has a seed and it is considered a fruit. Your tomatoes, your cucumbers, things like that. Those are fruits. So if you just eat that, you will be considered like a frugivore. Um, Omnivore, of course, we should have learned that when we were learning about dinosaurs and stuff like that. You have your herbivores, your omnivores, and your carnivores. So the omnivore is the person who actually eats your fruits, your vegetables, your herbs, your vegetation, and you eat meat. Okay, so I'm going to give you the best alternatives for someone who eats meat, and then the best alternatives for someone who just eats the vegetation and the fruits that's provided through Yah's creation. So I'll start first with the meat eaters. um, so when you start feeling hungry, the best thing you probably want to pack with you is some type of, I recommend the uncured natural jerky, and I recommend mainly turkey jerky. Turkey jerky is light. It's not as hard for your body to process or break down. And so I recommend turkey jerky. It's something that doesn't have to be refrigerated. You can have it on your nightstand. You can have it in a car. You can pack it in all the different places that more than likely you will end up. I had turkey jerky. I had turkey jerky at the gym. I had turkey jerky in my car. I had turkey jerky in Pastor's car. I had turkey jerky in my room. Wherever in the house I was going to be, I had some turkey jerky there just for those moments where the hunger just hit me while I'm in the middle of working, or I'm in the middle of nursing, or just in the middle of doing something. Not my mind's not focused on eating. So I would place the turkey jerky in all the places I would normally be. That way I don't have to scramble and try to run and find out, where's my snacks? Oh, Father, please somebody go find my snacks. Okay, so turkey jerky. Another one is trail mix. Trail mix that has, now I'm going to give you two different ones. This one, like I said, is towards the meat eaters. This trail mix has cashews in there. It has your raisins. It has your peanuts. You want the trail mix that has your cranberries in there. Some of them have like the little yogurt bites. I don't recommend the yogurt bite ones. Just the one, I think it's like the title of it is like the mountain trail mix. That one's a really good one because it also has almonds in there. Almonds will help with curbing, with help dying down that hunger hormone. So trail mix is a really good option. The reason being is because it doesn't have to be refrigerated. A lot of the snacks I'm going to mention don't have to be refrigerated. And that's what makes it easy for you to have access to, because you can put it anywhere and not have to worry about it going bad. So I've already said turkey jerky. If you eat beef jerky, that's fine. You can do the beef jerky too. Immediately when you eat these things that I'm sharing with you to eat, immediately the hunger stops. It immediately calms your stomach and it removes that nauseous feeling. You don't have to keep eating a whole bunch of it for it to actually start activating or doing what you're wanting it to do. And it'll curb it for about 25 to 30 minutes. That should be enough time for you to actually get to your food that one of your 5 meals. I normally try to eat like 5 to 6 meals a day when I'm pregnant. That way, you don't have that nausea feeling after eating because you've eaten too much. And that way, you're not as hungry so often or so aggressively. So that will give you about your 25 to 30 minutes to actually get to the food that you're going to prepare or warm up for you to eat. Another one is peanut butter crackers. Those are good. It doesn't have to be refrigerated. If you get the peanut butter that's already creamy, and it doesn't have to be refrigerated. Some peanut butters they have on there that it has to be refrigerated. You want to make sure that you look at the back of the bottle or on the side of the bottle. There's a organic peanut butter that we get. and it doesn't have to be refrigerated at all, even after you open it. Some peanut butters have to be refrigerated after you open. But if you get peanut butter and you have crackers, neither one of those have to be refrigerated. You can have the peanut butter wherever. You can scoop some out. When I'm going to travel, I scoop some out and put it in like a little glass container. And then I have extra silverware in the car, like the little plasticware. And if it hits me on the road, I got my peanut butter and I got some crackers, and I could just, spread the peanut butter on there. I'll eat a few of them until we get to our destination and eat some actual food. So peanut butter crackers doesn't have to be refrigerated as well. Cheese crackers, depending on what brand you get, they don't have to be refrigerated. I like doing kind of everything fresh. So I'd rather chop up my cheese and have my crackers and eat cheese and crackers like that. When I would eat cheese and crackers. And of course, that has to be refrigerated. So we actually have little, I don't think I have it. I should have brought it. But Walmart sells these freezer lunch bags. And you can put your food in there and it'll stay cool while you're out. It stays cool for maybe about 4 to 6 hours. So you can put your food that needs to be refrigerated in there. But if you're not really concerned about doing everything fresh, then you can get the cheese and crackers that are already made and they don't actually have to be refrigerated. That curbs the hunger hormone. And pure salt. So if you see with the jerky, with the trail mix, with the peanut butter crackers, with the cheese crackers, all of those have like a sodium content, and it's the salt that kind of satisfies that hunger hormone as well. So it has the magnesium that's needed. And most of the time, if you stay hydrated, that's why I push for hydration. If you stay hydrated, you won't be as hungry. But when you're dehydrated, you're gonna develop that that feeling of needing to eat something right away. So, water, drink your water, so that this will help you curb hunger. You can also start drinking sips if you don't have access to your snacks. Drinking sips of water will actually help as well. I don't recommend gulping, because when you're pregnant, if you start gulping down water, I'm telling you right now, it's probably going to come right back up. Okay, so sipping water will help curb it until you can get to your snack. And coconut water, this will help curb it as well. Because of the magnesium and the potassium that's in there, it will immediately satisfy that hunger hormone. It'll satisfy it immediately. And this only lasts for about 10 to 15 minutes. But again, you want to sip. You don't want to gulp it. You want to sip it. These are other factors that will help that is not food. And that is, of course, exercising. If you're exercising regularly, that's going to keep you from having to go into that starvation hunger mode as well. You notice when you start exercising or when you start praying, the hunger feeling disappears. I promise it does. Every time I wake up very, very hungry, immediately when I enter into prayer, it's like my brain then forgot and it stops releasing the ghrelin, I think I said that right, the ghrelin hormone, which causes hunger. That's the name of the hormone that causes that desire to eat. I think my brain just automatically says, okay, stop releasing the ghrelin hormone so she can focus on prayer. And then I'm praying for about a whole nother hour and a half. And then when I'm done, it's like, dang, I forgot I was hungry. And then I'm hungry like 20 minutes later. So exercising or praying definitely removes that signal. I don't know how it does it, but it like stops the release of the ghrelin hormone. Getting enough sleep, stress plays a major factor in causing you to be very hungry. Um, Low calories. Like I said, if you start off your pregnancy malnourished or malnutrition, you're going to be hungry all the time until you hit the proper weight or the proper fat. I should say the proper fat content in your body. You're going to be hungry all the time because your body has to get from that malnourished state into a state where it's able to continue to feed baby at the same time, replenish what's being lost through baby. So you're gonna be hungry all the time. Um, so for meat eaters, protein and good fats are going to be good for you to keep the Gendlin hormone down. Um, like I said, when your energy is low, that's what's actually going to cause the Gendlin hormone to be produced. Okay. So now that is my tip for the omnivores. Now I'm going to talk about the frugivores, which if you eat meat too, you can eat these things as well. And this will help curb your hunger. But this is just like specifically for someone who doesn't eat meat or make a habit of eating meat. Whew. Forgive me, y'all. I've been up since 4:40, so I may yawn here and there. And you may hear children in the background because they're up and they're eating breakfast. And then they're finishing schoolwork. So, okay. Omnivore would be somebody classified as a vegan or a vegetarian, all these little fancy names that we have out here now. But it's just somebody who eats vegetation and eats the natural things that are being produced by the earth. Okay, so number one, I eat this, and I'm telling you, it works like instantaneously. This is my snack. This is one of the main snacks that I eat when I'm pregnant, and then I eat just in general because it's good, and you can feel the feeling of your body starting to get full and energized at the same time while you're eating it. And that's the cucumbers. I slice cucumbers. I slice celery, and I eat olives. You can eat black olives. You can eat green olives. I think the salt content is a little bit higher in green olives. So I actually don't eat them by themselves. I'll eat the black olives by themselves. But a snack that I'll eat, and that's really quick, is cucumbers, sliced cucumbers, celery sticks, and olives. And I don't need much of it. I'll have about 6 celery sticks. I'll have maybe 12 olives, and then I'll slice maybe a half of a cucumber. And that right there will curb that hunger, curb my appetite until I actually get time to warm my food up or make my juicy salad or, actually get to where we'll be eating. That's my favorite snack thus far. And it's been one of my favorite snacks. And I just wanted to share that with you all. It's very simple. It's something you can carry with you. It doesn't have to be refrigerated because I just buy the whole cucumber. I get the olives and I get the celery. All of that stuff, you can just put it in the car. And then when you cut it, then after that, you can refrigerate it. But it's something that I can carry along just like a banana or an apple. There's nothing that I have to prepare in advance for it to not spoil. And so you can also do broccoli. For those of you who like broccoli, broccoli to me would make me hungrier because it has the ability to send you to the bathroom. So, but for other people, broccoli fills them up as well. So broccoli is a good source of energy that you can use that will cause the Gendlin hormone to stop producing and give you enough time to get to food. Another snack that I do eat, especially in the morning with my breakfasts now, I've overcome. I'm still overcoming. Is some watermelon, cantaloupe, And then I eat kale with it, and that immediately satisfies. It will curb the hunger, and it'll curb it for about an hour for me. So watermelon, cantaloupe, and kale. You can saute your kale, or you can eat your kale raw. You can make kale chips. I like to make kale chips. Kale chips is another snack that I have on here that will curb your hunger until you're able to get to the food that you're really wanting to um, eat to satisfy the hunger. Uh, but apples are a good choice. I'm not a big apple fan, never have been, but they're really good for you. Apples and pears. Um, are good snacks to have too. Good thing about them is they don't have to be refrigerated. You can just throw them in the car with you. You can have it sitting on your table. You can have it anywhere. And that's the good thing. Most of these items, they don't have to be refrigerated until after you slice them up. But once you slice them up, you're going to eat it. So there's really nothing for you to actually have refrigerated. Stay hydrated. I'm going to say that over and over and over. Stay hydrated. Hydration is key to curbing the Ghrelin hormone. And if you want to look more into that, Ghrelin is Ghe, and I could be saying it backwards. It's Ghrelin or Galen. Let me see. It's Ghe. Okay, it's Ghnelin. So it's like Ghrelin hormone. Type in hunger hormone and it'll bring it up. Okay, and you can go see how it's activated. You can go see what foods to eat to suppress it, to keep it from spiking. It'll go over all of that for you so you guys can get informed on that as well. But staying hydrated is going to be mentioned all the time. Something that you can drink. I've already mentioned the water and the coconut water. Another thing is green tea. Green tea will help in curbing that hunger as well. And then here's my other snacks. I mentioned trail mix for like the meat eaters, but you can do trail mix as well for the frugivore. Okay. And the nuts that I recommend are walnuts, black walnuts, and Brazil nuts. Living proof. You just eat a couple of walnuts and it stops immediately. And so whenever I start feeling that hunger kick in, I'll start eating some walnuts. If I don't have access to Brazil nuts, which I do now, but I'm trying to keep them just specifically for making the different sauces that I'm planning on making with them, to replace the dairy, to replace the cheese from the cow. So I mainly will be eating walnuts and black walnuts. And you can add in your dried fruits. You can add in your dried figs, which all of these are good at curbing hunger. Your dates. Jazz don't like dates. I don't think my husband really likes them much either. He says they're kind of too sweet. So I recommend this. If dates are too sweet for you to eat, this is what you eat it with. Jazz can eat them better now. You got to eat your date with some kale. So you take a bite of your date and then you take a bite of kale. I'm telling you, it's the perfect combination. It may sound weird, but it's the perfect combination. This is how you're going to be able to get your dates down. Because during pregnancy, dates are really good for you. They're vital to helping you during labor. It's been shown to help decrease the amount of pain, decrease the intensity and the length of labor, actually. So, and it's a study that they've done. The more women, they did a study on women who ate dates throughout their pregnancy versus women who did not eat dates during their pregnancy. And there was a drastic difference between their labor, the intensity and pain, and the duration. And so if you want to eat the dates and you struggle because they're too sweet, eat it with kale. I promise you, it works and it tastes really good. So just take a bite of your date and then you take a bite of your kale. The kale, how I cook it, which I'm gonna remind you again, I'm gonna be doing a video next week and it's gonna be live, and I'm gonna pick a few different meals that I prepare here on the land, and I'm gonna show you how we prepare them, and hopefully you guys will be able to prepare them. Okay, so that is all that I have for this video, and I'm going to get ready for another one. Shalom. Bless y'all. Again, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, feel free to email me at mothersherbalinstincts@gmail.com, or you can go to my Facebook page, which, by the way, I will be changing. It says Mothers Herbal Instincts, but I will be changing it to Herbally Defined as well. That way, it's easier for people to find and there's less confusion. So it's still the same company. We're just going to stick with the motto or the quote, be herbally defined. And so I'm going to stick that on there. And now it's going to be herbally defined. And email is going to be the same for right now until we get the website rolling in full effect. Okay. Bless y'all and stay tuned for the next videos.